Hi, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? My name is Michael Proctor, and I want to tell you a little funny story. I never knew what pain and suffering was until I encountered AWS, Amazon Web Services. And right now it's Sunday night. It's 5 minutes to 9 Eastern Standard Time, and it's Father's Day. So you're looking at the end result here of me logging into a an EC2 instance. EC2 is like a firewall, and it's a stateful firewall, and it allows traffic traffic inbound and outbound according to the rules that you process it in. And so, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to, from scratch, we're going to start to do an EC2 instant. We're going to create our keys, and then we're going to create a security group, and then we're going to launch our instant and connect to the EC2 instance. I am so frightened of this. We're going to exit out of this and we're going to start from scratch. And and I hope God has mercy on us that we're able to do this. And then after this video is over, I'm just going to crawl in my bed and relax. It's been a long, hectic uh, Sunday. All right. So I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone had a great Father's Day. This is June 15th, 2025. And we say thank you to all the mothers and fathers out there who sacrifice for their children. All right, let's disconnect from this, and we're back. The session is closed. We're back in our own domain. So let me exit out of this. So the first thing, what is the first thing we're gonna do? We're here in EC2, and we want to connect to one of our EC2 instances, which you see you get a private IP and a public IP as well. So the first thing we'll do is we'll make sure we're in the correct region. We're in North Virginia, and we have to make sure everything stays within that region. So let's go to key pair. That will be our first. We'll create our public and private keys with this connection. So as you can tell, I've created a couple of these keys, and this last key, this is my godsend here. So I was able to finally connect in and connect to the remote server. So we're gonna pretend we're starting all over again. So here we go. Create key pair, and I'm gonna give it a key pair name, and I'm gonna call it Michael, Michael, A6. Will be the sixth iteration of me creating K. Now, when we have Ubuntu, I discovered when we have Ubuntu, we're able to use either key type, RSA or ED25519. That creates our private key and encrypts the password for the private key. I learned that Windows can preferably more takes ED25519, but Ubuntu we can use our either RSA or ED25519, and our extension will be PEM. for use with open SSH. But if we were using Windows, we would use PPK. All right, so we have our key name Michael underscore A6 underscore key. And I'm just looking to see if that's running. And the first thing we'll do is we'll create our key pair. Now our key pair is created. As you can see, Michael A6 underscore key, but it's also saved in Ubuntu in a download file. So let's take a look at that. We have to go to our terminal. And we'll cd into our desktop folder, because that's where its destination resided at. E. cd down. Okay. ls minus ltr. All right, so down at the bottom, you can see I have my 6th key, and we have to make this key secure. So right now, it has read and write privileges. The group has read and write privileges, and the other user has read privileges. We have to change the key and its permissions, where only myself will have access to read the privileges for the private key. So how do we do that? So we'll do sudo chmod 400 Michael underscore A6, right? Oh, A6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where is Michael underscore A6? Okay. ls minus t. Okay, here we go. So sudo chmod Michael underscore A6 underscore key period temp. Okay. I forgot to put in the identifier number. We're going to change it to. Sudo chmod 400 Michael underscore A6 underscore key period pem. Right, let's do another ls minus ltr. We'll take a look at our file, and now we have read privileges. So we've modified the file to read privileges. We make sure that the file is sitting in our downloads folder. So let's exit out of this for a second. The next thing we'll do is we'll create our security group. And we are going to create a new security group. And I'm going to call this Michael underscore A6 and SG in as security group. Allow access to EC2 in AWS. And we're going to use our default VPC. And we still have the North Virginia region. Add rules is very particular. So we're going to look at add rule. And the first rule we're going to add is remote RDP, remote data services, remote RDP. Let me see. Let me tell you the correct abbreviation for RDP. Come on. Is Remote Desktop Protocol, a proprietary protocol developed by Microsoft that enables users to remotely access and control the computer over the network connection. So it's Remote Desktop Protocol that we're going to look for. And the protocol is TCP, and its port is 3389. We're going to use my IP, so we know we'll have access. And we're going to add another rule to it also. We'll, since we're using SSH, and ladies and gentlemen, SSH is SSH or Secure Shell is a cryptographic network protocol used for secure communications between two computers, typically a client and a server. So let's look for SSH. And that protocol is also TCP, and the port range is 22. And once again, we'll use my IP. Outbound rules will use all traffic, and it will use any IP service it needs. Rules with destination 0.0.0.0 allow your instances to send traffic to any IP4 or IP6 address. We recommend setting security group rules to be more restrictive and do not allow traffic to specific known IP addresses. Alrighty, so we have here our security group name. Our description is allow access to EC2 and AWS. We have a default virtual private network here, a virtual private server. We're using our inbound rules. We're using remote desktop protocol and secure shell. And outbound rules, any IP. And let's see. And we'll create our security group. So let's look at our instances. You see our inbound traffic is RDP and SSH. Our outbound are all traffic and all types of port ranges, so on and so forth. Let's go to instances. Instances, where are you? So right now you do not see 5. But that's okay, because what we can do is we can refresh our page. Hmm. Let me go to the top and refresh it from there. Okay. Should see A6 instance. All right. Let me. So I do not have an A6 instance. So what could have happened? Good to troubleshoot, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to troubleshoot. Mm-hmm. 2, A3, 1, 5, and 4. Okay, so launch an instance. Hmm. All right, so I may have forgotten it. So Michael's A6 instance. That's a tag. We'll name it, and we're gonna choose Ubuntu, and we're gonna in Amazon we're gonna keep the free tier eligibility. So what do we have? I'll go to 2. Okay, so there's only two of them that are free tier. 2204. 220. Leave it as such. T2 micro. Free tier. Key pair login. You remember we made our keys. So Michael A6 key. Let me see. We're going to select the security group. Okay, so we have A6 as a security group. Okay. 8 gigs and okay. So our storage is 8 gigs. Let me see. So I'm going to start from the top. So we have our instance, Michael A6 instance, and we're using Ubuntu as our operating system. And we'll use the Ubuntu server. Let me see. Our key pair is Michael A6 key. We have our security group as Michael A6. You remember we did the configurations with the IP addresses, remote desktop, and SSH. Let me see. We chose everything here. We can look over. We have our software image, our virtual server type, which is an SSD. Where is that at? Where is that? That's an That's a micro SSD, 1 GB of memory. And our volume is one volume, which is 8 GB. And our firewall security group is Michael A6 SG. Okay, we're still in the United States, North Virginia. And I know I'm stalling here. I know I'm stalling. We're just going to click launch instance, and we will launch instance right now by the grace of God. And okay. I'm gonna go back to instances. And yeah, we have our still pending. We have our Michael A6 instance. Let me wait. Okay, good. It's running now. The instance state is running. Let me select it and see what we have here. So we're given our public and private addresses. Our public address is 3.91.183.177, and our private address is 172.31.94.23. So let me see, status and alarms. Okay, we didn't do anything with alarms, but let's networking, private and public addresses. And let's right click on this. Let's go to connect. And connect will give us some wonderful information over here. So it will tell us exactly what to do when we hit the Ubuntu portal. And we did this, ladies and gentlemen. You remember we did this Gmod 400. That was to restrict the rights of only myself can read the key, and no one else can get access to it. And which is our private key. And connect your instance using your public key. Okay. So I'm just writing down the commands here. Okay, Michael A6 underscore key period PEM at Ubuntu. Sorry, it's Ubuntu at 2.3.91 2.3.91 I'm sorry, EC2. So it will be 3.91.183.177. Ladies and gentlemen, please forgive me for being tired. So we have all this information here. Okay, let's go to our terminal window. And before we connect, there's certain things I want to show you. We had to sudo syste status ss command not found. Okay, sudo system ctl status ssh. Okay, so this is our SSH server. So it's running and it's active and it's enabled, and it's going to take all sort of SSH commands. So it needs to check on to make sure it will allow access for SSH commands. And the UFW sudo status UFW port TCP allow. So this is the status. UFW, I want to tell you what UFW means. UFW in Linux is UFW stands for uncomplicated firewall, and is a user-friendly interface for managing a Linux firewall. It simplifies the process of configuring IP tables, the underlying firewall system in Linux, making it easier to control network traffic. So we've allowed port 22, and if I want to, let me see, sudo sudo allow HTTP. And HTTPS NUFW. Okay, so to allow, we're not going to do it tonight, but we're going to make this command sudo UFW allow HTTP. Rule was added, sudo UFW allow HTTPS. That's port 443. And what else could we do here? Okay. Let's look at sudo sudo UFW status. All right, so we have port 22, port 80, port 443, TCP, and we can also add in UDP as well. And we can add or deny IP addresses, but you remember this exercise said we don't want to work with specific IPs adding or denying. So we will leave that alone for now. And let's clear our screen. And let's pray to God that everything is working. So we were told here that to run an SSH command, we do not need to put sudo in front of it. So what we'll do here is the following. We'll type in our secure shell command, SSH -I, which is the listening port. It's listening. And I'm sorry. You know what? I apologize. Let me see. -I in SSH. I don't want to tell you the wrong information. Okay, the -I flag in SSH. Okay. Identity file. Selects the file, which I'm going to type next, from which the identity, the private key, for public key authentication is read. So it's going to identify the private key file and selects a file from which the identity, the private key for the public key authentication is read. Okay, so I apologize for that. So we're going to type in Michael, Michael, and A6, key, period, PEM. You remember that's our private, that is our private key. And we're going to our remote server at 3.9 3.91 .183.177. And we're going to hit enter. And are you sure you want to continue connecting? Permission denied. Okay, permission denied. And this will happen. Identify file Michael A6 key period PM is not accessible. No such file or directory. Let's check that. Oh, I think I know why that happened. Okay. I wasn't in the correct directory. Not accessible. Okay, so let's try it again. And we're in, ladies and gentlemen. We're in. You remember the private key I told you, 172 31 91 23. And 1 second. And let's take a look in there. We're not going to see anything. LS. You know what? I am pretty sure that this computer doesn't want me to go to sleep. LS minus LTR. And we don't have anything but remoted into the EC2 server. And I'm going to hit exit and EXIT. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for having patience with me and enduring this. And we even did some troubleshooting as well. So thank God the troubleshooting wasn't that bad. I was just in the wrong directory. I SSH'd again, the key name and the remote server, and I was able to get in. And I'm very grateful for this. This has been a journey. This this has been it's been a learning experience, and it tested my resolve as an IT person. I've worked in the help desk for 19 years, but never have I used public and private keys before. So thank you for your attention to watching this 40-minute, this 38-minute video. Thank you.